You're listening to the Australian Army Training and Doctrine Podcast.
This is Exercise Hamel 2016. I'm Captain Sharon Mascall-Dare and I've come to the Brigade Maintenance Area to catch up with a few of the soldiers and officers who are working here during the exercise.
My name is Private Kelly Viney from 1240 RTR in Tasmania. I'm here as a driver on Exercise Hamel 16. I drive the Unimog or the Rover. That's all I'm qualified in at the moment, so I try my best to support as much as I can.
And what kind of training did you have to do in order to qualify as a driver?
I had to do 2 weeks at the driving school. Did fault finding, how to change a tyre, learning what's under the hood.
And what was that like, learning about what's under the hood? Are you quite mechanically minded?
Well, I actually had no idea when I first started, so it's a real eye-opener it has been for me, and to keep up with all the skills.
And has that translated across to your civilian life? Do you suddenly find you're a bit more of an expert on your own car?
Yes, it's helped me so much. Being able to drive on the road safely has given me more of an eye-opener, and if anything happens to my vehicle, I feel I can find what the problem is.
How did you come to be in the Army then? How long ago did you join?
I joined about 3 years ago, mainly through friends and things that I've heard. I've always liked camping and shooting, so it seemed to work really well for me.
In terms then of what you think you've learnt over the last 3 years that you've been in the Army, what kind of training have you received over time in addition to your trade training as a driver?
I feel so much more confident with just any vehicle I hop into now, and just little things like going out the bush and learning how to survive. It's an eye-opener. It is a challenge if you don't really like the outdoors or camping. You get exposed to a lot of insects and get real dirty, and if you don't like that then it's pretty bad. But I really enjoy going out and learning new things, and I really like getting down in the dirt and all muddy.
And how much is that part of the training that the Army teaches you how to deal with those kinds of conditions?
It's pretty much the main part of it. Like, you never really know when the enemy's coming, so you always got to be prepared.
And in terms of having a weapon with you all the time, did it take you a while to get used to that?
Yeah, it took me a while, just remembering to have it on you 24/7. It's quite different.
And what do you do in your civilian life? Because you're an Army reservist, aren't you?
Yes, I work at Woolworths in Tassie in Launceston. So this is a complete different job that I like doing.
It must be a very different world being out here compared to working in a supermarket.
Yeah, it is very different. I'm not sure if it's work or it's a hobby, because I sort of enjoy doing both things.
And when you go back to your civilian job after you've been out on an exercise like this, does this kind of training with the Army translate?
Just more teamwork. It's all about the teamwork to get the job done. You can't just leave one person out there to do it by themselves. It's better if everyone gets in and helps each other out to get the job done quicker.
So right now, are you happy being out here, or would you rather be back working at Woolworths?
I would much rather be out here, because I love the outdoors, I love vehicles. I get more opportunities out here to work with people and learn new things.
Hi, I'm Private Maggie Brumley. I'm from 56 RVR Royal Victorian Regiment in Melbourne. I'm with Alpha Company based out at Sunshine, and I'm a QE and I'm a storeman. My role is in Combat Team Alpha, and we're providing support and resupply to units and infantry units going forward, and supporting the battle.
When you say supporting the battle, for people outside of Army, what does that actually mean? What do you have to supply them with?
So the boys, they need their ammunition, their water, their rations to be able to move forward and not be in any personal contact. So we can give that up to 3 days forward, so they can fight and don't have to worry about their rations, ammunition and extra stores.
What kind of training did you receive to perform this role?
As a basic soldier, we all go to Kapuka and perform well there, and then I moved on to IETs down in Bandiana, and I did 2 months as a storeman, getting my logistics training. I joined in February of 2014. Once I finished my training, I moved up to Townsville.
And you're an Army reservist?
I am an Army reservist now, yes, and I enjoyed it a lot. Yes, I was in the regular Army for 2 years. I was with 3 CISB up in Townsville.
Why did you decide then to transfer from the full-time Army to the reserve?
Initially, before I joined the Army, I wanted to do paramedics. So I've left and joined the Reserve Army, and now I'm studying paramedicine.
So the Army Reserve is giving you that opportunity to go and get the studies that you need to be able to come back to the Army and do what you really want to do.
Yes, it has. So I still really like working Army, so I couldn't leave it completely. So it's really good. It's really good to settle down and study, but still have the contact with Army personnel, and it's still like a family.
How does that work then if you want to be a paramedic within Army? Do you need to go outside and get those qualifications and then bring them into the Army?
I wanted to get a degree in paramedicine. The Army doesn't offer that at this point, either as officer or a regular soldier. So I've left to study paramedicine, and hopefully in the future I'll bring it back into Army in some way.
This exercise though, you're going to be a QE, as you've described.
Yes, I am.
And what are you hoping to get out of it?
I really like the people I work with, and I'm constantly learning. So even this exercise, this is different from the other Hamels and Talisman Sabres I've been on. Got a lot more call signs, so resupplying them is just helping me learn constantly. Meeting different people from different units, working with workshops and other chain of command, it's really good.
Do you think this is going to help you in any way with your paramedic studies?
The work ethic, definitely 100%, and working long hours and knowing when to put in the effort is definitely a transition I'm going to take over to paramedicine.
I'm Captain Peter Del Fonte. I'm a medical officer in the Reserve Army from the 9th Combat Service Support Battalion, and we're here on Exercise Hamel. My role, we have a Role 1 element, which is a close health support, always following where the action's going. So we see all the soldiers and diggers that obviously are injured during the battle simulation exercises, and provide them the first line of treatment.
What kind of training then have you had to have in order to be in this role at Exercise Hamel?
Well, I'm a general practitioner in a civilian job, and the general practice experience is ideal, and if you've got some experience in acute emergencies, it's also an essential bit. All the medical officers get the opportunity to do the EMST, which is for surgical trauma, and we get to undergo a lot of additional training that we wouldn't be able to do in civilian street. Dealing with acute emergencies, and certainly a lot of musculoskeletal injuries, because that's certainly very common here, and generally understanding the role of the soldier, and from occupational medicine perspective, it's not just about treating the injuries, but understanding what roles the soldier can and can't do. But the whole idea is to obviously get them fit and healthy again and back in their line of duty.
As someone then who has a civilian career as a general practitioner, how are you able to balance your Army work with your civilian work?
Well, it's not too difficult. For me, it's probably looking at 3 Tuesday nights parading, and probably one weekend, maybe every 1 or 2 months. It's not onerous, and the training and the experience is, well, you wouldn't be able to get that anywhere else, in my view. And I enjoy teaching the medics from a basic primary care perspective, and I learn a lot from the other docs that work in hospitals, emergency, intensive care and trauma. Just good comradeship really on the field, and having a good time as well, but also taking it seriously in terms of what we're here to do.
And what's been the highlight then of the exercise so far for you?
Well, the main highlight really just seeing what is involved and unimaginable complexity and logistics involved in an exercise with nearly 10,000 personnel on the ground, and just seeing how that is all brought together and ensuring that we do our bit in that process to make it all come out right in terms of learning more about how to do our job. Certainly from a humanitarian perspective, I think Australian Army is well renowned for its work in that area. And certainly we are probably as well trained as any other soldiers in the world, and we can be proud of that.
Captain Peter Del Fonte, thank you very much. This is Captain Sharon Mascall-Dare reporting from Exercise Hamel 2016.
This podcast is produced by the Australian Army and is copyright the Commonwealth of Australia.